Oh god, this part's always the worst. Okay. Okay, hi guys. Hey. It's been a very hot minute since I've made or filmed a video. And I want to say 3 years. A minute of 3 years. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun, am I right? No. Excuse my voice and everything right now, I'm going through a cold, but I have been wanting to film a video like this for a very long time, for months on months on months, and I keep pushing it off, and honestly right now I'm just to the point where I don't care if I have a cold or, you know, if something small comes up, because I just want this to be done. I just want it behind me. I just want to put it out there and just move on from it. So here we go. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about my history and my story regarding my mental health. And the reason why I've been wanting to make this video is, honestly, I need it for myself. And that sounds kind of strange, so let me explain. I have come up with a theory that inside myself, I have been holding myself back a little bit from fully trying to be cured or fully being as happy as I can and getting over my mental health issues. I feel like I've been holding myself back a little bit because I've known myself for years, for the past 6 years, to be the girl with depression, the girl with anxiety, the girl who's always sad or over emotional or over dramatic or whatever it is. And there's a good chance that nobody else thinks that about me, but I think that about myself. And I'm to the point where I want to make this video so that I can really put it out there and have it be a concrete thing saying these things have happened to you, but these things that happen to you are not who you are. You are not your mental illness. You are not your hardships from your past. They're what are helping you grow into who you are now, but you are not limited to what has happened to you. That's the kind of thing that I'm wanting to tell myself, that I'm wanting to convince myself at this point in my life. And I feel like it'd be really easy to just say it to myself but brush it off without having some sort of concrete video or something here to relentlessly tell myself that that's what I need for myself. And of course, I'm also hoping that talking about my issues is able to reach somebody, to relate to them in some way if they're going through something similar or anything like that. And I pray that I'm able to help somebody with that. I really do. But that's also, yeah, those are the two main reasons why I'm making this video. So enough of that long intro. Yeah, let's get into it. So the summer going into my freshman year of high school, I was diagnosed with a mild depressive disorder, and I decided to get myself checked out by a doctor for this, and I decided to put myself through counseling and talk to my parents about it because I knew that something definitely wasn't right. My sister, my older sister, has gone through many trauma-filled issues throughout her life, and a lot of her life she was not very happy, and I saw what that looked like, and I think that in myself I was terrified of being as unhappy with my life as she was with hers at the time. And while she's going through a great recovery of her own issues at this time, I, at that point in my life, was scared of what the future would hold for me. So I decided to talk to my parents, and I told them that I am not happy with myself. I don't exactly know why. It's a weird feeling, and I might want to try going to counseling to talk about some things. And my parents were very open, bless their hearts. And I started going to counseling, and I go to the same therapist that I've gone to since that summer. Shout out to Amy, you're a G. She's seriously helped me so much through a lot of things, and I can't thank her enough for it. I really can't. But yeah, so going into high school, I was, of course, going through whatever changes everyone else is at that time, you know. You're finishing going through puberty or wherever you are in that stage, and you're finding new friends in high school, and you're finding out what clubs you want to do and what you're interested in and everything. And I had that going on, as well as figuring out that I was gay. I figured out that I was gay somewhere in my 8th grade year, near my 8th grade year, I want to say. And it was a weird territory for me because I grew up in a Catholic household, and I was scared of how I was afraid that other people wouldn't accept me as most people would. And so that's probably a route to where some of the anxiety started, was because I wasn't able to talk about it for a period of time. But I was able to get the courage to tell my parents December of my freshman year, and they're so supportive. They've been immensely supportive. I can't believe how amazing they are and accepting they are and loving they are toward me. But honestly, to this day, I'm really proud of myself, I have to say, for how I handled the situation regarding my sexuality, and how I grew the strength to tell people and to promote it and just be happy with it, because I'm so happy with my life now in that section of my life. So I just wanted to preface that part. Moving on to a little later in my high school career, there was a period of time throughout my sophomore year, which was honestly the worst year I think I've ever been through. I didn't know what was happening. I felt like I was at a breaking point, really. And at this point in my life was an ultimate low for my depression, and I actually became suicidal at this point in my life. And it's awful. If you're someone who is suicidal, is having suicidal thoughts, I know how awful it is, but just know that one of the biggest things that's been able to drag me out of those thoughts is thinking about the people that I love. Because even if there are not a ton of people in your life who exactly understand you, they love you so much and they want the absolute best for you in any way possible. And just thinking about how much it would affect them if you did something to hurt yourself is honestly something that always is able to snap me out of my thoughts. So that's a tip, I guess, if you're going through that. But I wish I could tell you exactly what point it was where I decided to start valuing my life, because I was at such a low point to where I had a plan. I had a plan to end things for myself in my sophomore year of high school, and thank God I didn't. That was a really dark time in my life, and I didn't think that there was anybody that I could talk to or anything. And I decided, when deciding not to go through with what I had going on in my head, I decided to listen to the person that I wanted to be. I set a plan up in my head. I said, what do you want to see yourself doing in the future? What kind of person do you want to be? Now, imagine that person, that amazing, hardworking, happy person in the future, looking at you right now and telling you not to do this, telling you that you are going to be okay. The clouds that are over you right now are going to pass eventually. Some take longer than others, but once they pass, that's just even more buildup of your armor that's keeping you strong throughout everything else in your life. And honestly, it was thinking about who I wanted to be, as well as my amazing friends and family that have helped me through so many dark times in my life, that have honestly helped me stay alive and stay thriving to this day. Now, of course, I'm still going through issues, I'm still going through a lot of things, but I've never gotten to a point since then to where I didn't value my life at all. Because of those people and because of the methods that I've practiced and the skills that I've learned about valuing my life, because of those, I am still alive to this day. And I am so immensely happy that I am. So from that point on, I decided to do some cliche things. I went on Pinterest and I started looking up some coping mechanisms, things to look at, things to buy, little things to make, or things to look at that would just make me not so sad all the time. And that sounds cliche, you know, like make tea, go for a walk, listen to music, and all of those things, yes, they're cliche and they don't always work for some people, but there's always something that works for somebody. There's a million things you can find. And for me, for a while, I was watching motivational videos, motivational speeches. There is a motivational speaker, his name is Eric Thomas, and he works so hard at what he does. He was telling about a guru. If you go on YouTube and you search the guru story, Eric Thomas, you will see this. And the guru tells this man that wants to be successful, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And that's the kind of thing that got me, because there were things that I wanted, but I was too afraid to really get out of my comfort zone and go get it, to make myself be happy and successful. I was afraid to get off the couch. I was afraid to turn off my phone when I would just rather lay down and be depressed. But hearing those words really put things into perspective, because happiness is not going to come walk past you on the street and hit you in the face and say, hey, I'm here, I'll tag along with you for a while. No, you have to go out there and you have to find it, and you have to hold on to it as hard as you can, and you have to work for it as hard as you possibly can, and then you can be happy, really, honestly. And I know that that's a lot easier said than done, and it takes time, and I'm still working through that. But I still watch his videos to this day. So Eric Thomas, if you somehow see this, hey, hook a girl up with your book. As I'm filming this, I'm realizing I don't know what the point of this video is exactly. Like, I don't know if it's a it gets better video, or is it one of those videos where I'm supposed to cry about telling my story like every YouTuber does. No shame to them, because like I cry at everything. But I'm just not sure what my end game is here, so I guess we'll just end up finding out at some point. Let me just tell you guys, high school Kelsey, rough time. Rough time. Bark. I was so excited to graduate. I graduated May of last year. Shout out to Dunlap High School. I don't know if that's a positive or negative shout out, but hey. No, but I was so excited to graduate. I thought, okay, this is the time. I'm going to become a new me. I'm gonna move out of my parents' house. I'm going to college, and I'm going to be this amazing, happy person, right? Well, sort of. I guess half of that was right. I moved out, living in the dorms now. I'm in my lounge as we speak, and things got rough. Things got rough, let me tell you. Of course, everybody has a rough time their freshman year of college, and now I fully understand why. It's a lot. It's a lot. If you're preparing to go to college, buckle up. No, college is good. It's a really good way to step out of your comfort zone, but it's also terrifying. And so for the first month or so, I was doing great. My mental health was like up here. I was doing pretty solid. And we were just living life. We were going to classes. We were getting decent grades. And then something changed. I don't know what exactly it was. Maybe because it was getting cold and seasonal depression is literally a thing. But I got really sad all of a sudden. And I started to feel very hopeless because I stopped going to a few classes sometimes, and I didn't have motivation to try to work out or eat anything decent for my body. Here, when winter came, I started to get a little suicidal again. And again, not fun at all. Especially when you're dealing with everything new in your life, with living in a new place and going to new places and having new people around you and everything. That's already a bit of a stressor, but then feeling like you're already screwing things up in a way because you are on such a high with your mental health, and then it just kind of goes downhill a little bit. It sucks. So, like I said, I got a little bit suicidal again. I delved into a bit of self-harm. I didn't mention before, but I had delved into self-harm back in my sophomore year of high school when I was in that really dark place. I had people that I could trust dearly, and I'm very grateful. I started growing a better relationship with my parents. Honestly, while I wasn't with them every day at home, since I'm here now, I felt okay with calling my mom and telling her that I wasn't okay. I remember sitting in this exact lounge one night sobbing, talking to my mom, telling her how upset I was and how I felt like I wasn't doing good enough and I wasn't good enough. And she made me feel so much better. So shout out to Lois for literally everything you've done for me, and Clark. Both my parents are G's. They're literally my lifesavers. God, they deserve everything in the world. But I got through a lot because I've grown a better relationship with them. And also shout out to my RA, who's also one of my very good friends. I trusted in her, and she was always by my side at every moment when I was feeling even a little bit sad. And that helped me so much, just having her right there, knowing that if everyone else fails, if everybody else runs away, she's gonna be there for me if I'm in trouble. And you need to find that person in your life, and you need to hang on to them really hard because they're amazing. Also learn over time that maybe if you can't always find that person, this sounds cliche, try to find that person in yourself, honestly, because there's not always going to be somebody by your side, whether it be because you live somewhere different or just literally anything happens, life happens, and you don't have some close people in your life anymore. Be that person for yourself. Learn how to trust yourself and have ways of telling yourself that it's okay, that it's going to be okay, that you're fine, that you're bigger than what you're going through, and it's going to pass, I promise. Just telling yourself those kinds of things and being that anchor for yourself, being that person that you can trust, is honestly so immensely important in improving your mental health. Life is hard. Life is really hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. A lot of you have clearly experienced something in your life that has affected you negatively in some way. And that's honestly a good thing, because that makes you stronger and that makes you human. And I'd be a little worried if you've never experienced anything upsetting, because honestly, I think feeling anything is so much better than feeling nothing at all. Even feeling sad and devastated and hopeless, even though that's awful to feel, it's better than feeling nothing at all, because I know what it's like to feel nothing anymore, to not care about caring anymore. And feeling anything is better than feeling nothing. Just remember that. So if nothing else, if you're sad, just remember, well, at least I'm feeling sad instead of feeling nothing, because feeling nothing is a whole nother level of awful. And if you are feeling nothing at this point in your life, just know that that's not who you are. Just know that that's not who you're supposed to be. Sure, that's a bump in the road. That's something that a lot of people go through, and that's something that you're going through, and it's valid, and your feelings are valid, but it's not always going to be like that. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. I don't think there is any real ending point of this. This is kind of, I guess, like a video diary in a way. And I wanted to tell you guys and tell myself that sometimes I'm not okay. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm telling myself that that's okay. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. And the times that you're not okay are the times where you reflect and you learn new things of how to better yourself. And that's the time that you grow. You don't grow when you're at your peak and you're going for it all, because at that point, you're already solid. You don't reach a new high because you're running a race. You reach the high because you got the strength, you built that strength up to run. You practice that many times so that you're able to run that race. If you're going through something right now, just know that I am too. Things happen. Something's always gonna happen. And that may be a curse, but in some ways that's also a blessing, because it gives you new chances to figure out just who you are in this crazy messed up world we're in. And maybe you can find something beautiful in yourself. We're gonna be okay. We're working, we're thriving. We're doing what we can. We have our setbacks, but so does everybody. And once we can say to ourselves that we're going to be okay, and once we tell ourselves that we are worth being okay, then it's all upscale from there. I'm gonna have my social media accounts below. If any of you don't have me added on there already, feel free to do so. I leave my direct messages open to anybody who would want to talk to me about anything at all. If they just want to chat and be friends, or if they have anything going on and need someone to talk to, I'm always an ear, I'm always someone to talk to. I'll come up with an intro or outro at some point. But thank you for watching. Thanks for listening, and stay strong. We got this.